Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Akim. And this is your brother Abawan, back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rakakwadash. All praises and glory is due, especially in the times that we're in. And all I have to say is, hey man, that's that firmament, that's that firmament, right? So let me get this preset real quick. So this is the book of Genesis 1 verse 6. And the power said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And the powers made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And the powers called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. Right. So in the second day, the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai separated the firmament, which is the heavens, and the sea. Right. That's why if you go into the Hebrew word for heaven, the word there is Bashamayam, right? Bashamayam, which is basically means of pertaining to the waters. Ba, which is the Sha of waters, right? I was talking about, yeah. Okay, in Slakia. Ba is in, and Sha is of the waters, right? So Mayam in the Hebrew is water. So Bashamayam, so like another even Bashamayam, which Bashamayam is, it's just Shamayam, which is of pertaining to the waters. So that's basically what the Hebrew word for heaven is, right? Because there is the firmament above, which is space, which is outer space, and then there is the firmament that is under, that is below, which is the sea. And you watch the video, man, you see that Esau is confounded when it comes to the deep sea because of basically what exists in the deep sea and the fact that Esau can't get there. This man said it is easier to go into outer space, right? The way these devils go into outer space, and even that itself is not even easy, right? Because these devils, they go into outer space, and all they do is just hang around in the upper atmosphere of outer space, right? Just the really just the just the top just the top layer, the closest layer of outer space to Earth, where basically gravity becomes 0 g, and where you're basically outside of the ozone layer. That's really what these devils are doing, hanging around outside of the ozone layer, and that's their definition of going into outer space. But the same way they can't go into the depths of the heavens, right? It's the same way they can't go into the depths of the ocean, right? And the reason I'm doing this video is because it shows you, man, that hey, the script that once again the validity of the scriptures, right? The firmament that's above and the firmament that is beneath, and Esau cannot cross or enter any of them. Now let me get another quick precept. Because this is actually what they want to actually. This is actually the first preset that came to my mind that even made me want to do this video. Now this is the book of Jeremiah 31 verse 35. Thus saith Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divided the sea when the waves thereof roar. Yahweh of hosts is his name. Can. And let this be a reminder to you unbelievers out there, you so-called scientists out there, of who really made the heavens and the earth, and who created the sun, who divided the seas, and who made the moon as well, right? These heavenly bodies that you cannot go to and that you cannot fully comprehend, even by your own admission, because don't argue with me. Go into the depths of the sea, prove me wrong, right? Go into the depths of space, take a ship, right? Take a rocket and go back to the moon, right? You devils claim to have been there once before. Do it again. Is science not supposed to be something that is easily replicable, or even at least replicable, to prove that it is possible? Well, replicate going to the moon, right? Talking about we send drones and rovers. They're damn devils, man, damn devils, right? But let's keep going into it. Now, Jeremiah 31 verse 36. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith Yahweh, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Thus saith Yahweh, and this is the main point right here. If heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth set out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith Yahweh. Right, so this is a challenge from the Most High to you damn devils, because you know what the scriptures say, that Esau is the anointed cherub, that there is no secret that is hidden from Esau Edom, right? And they are wiser than Daniel, okay? That's why you can see that these devils have done such a diligent search, are able to go as deep as they have into the ocean floor, but they haven't reached the bottom yet, right? They are still, there's still so much down there, and even these devils know that there's so much down there that they don't know about, right? The ocean at night, it's a whole topic in and of itself. So many theories, so many conspiracies, so many ideas of what's actually down there, right? Well, of course, the main thing that we know that in this truth that is down there is, of course, Leviathan. Okay, the Leviathan, right? The fiery, the Leviathan, the virgin serpent, man, and the judgment that the Most High Yahweh Hashem, and that's also part of the judgment that the Most High Yahweh Hashem will bring down upon you devils, man. But before we go to that, let's finish this up first. But yeah, you've clearly read what was written there, okay? These devils, okay, Esau Edom, the so-called dread man, even with the blessing and understanding that the Most High has given him, he will still not be able, right, to search the heavens above, which is basically going into outer space and searching out outer space, because hey, these devils, and that's why you see them doing all this space exploration and spending so much money into space exploration. Why is it that Esau is so interested in what is in outer space, right? In what is out there in the outer space, using these Hubble space telescopes and all these other forms of telescopes, right? And trying to see farther and farther into the reaches of space, trying to see these heavenly bodies and what's out there, and even doing this deep search into the ocean as well. Why do you think that Esau is doing all this? And the funny thing is that a lot of these ocean cameras and these ocean rovers that they send down there, sometimes they don't even come back up. Sometimes they always talk about how the different things happen to them. I was watching one of the other Malcolm's videos anyway, where he went into that about how one of these space rovers, it detected an extreme heat and then it just lost signal, right? But the thing is that, and even the video said it, in the bottom of the ocean, it is incredibly cold because light does not get there, the sun does not get there, so there is no heat, right? But what is that caused that sudden burst of heat and then destroyed that exploration rover, right? These devils can't go into the depths of the ocean. That's why Esau will say that, oh, that's really that I've only mapped about a certain percentage of the ocean, right? Because it's basically impossible for them to map out the deeper parts of the ocean. But of course, the chariots, the chariots of the Most High, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, go to and fro, into the ocean as much as it pleases, right? The chariots don't have to worry about the water pressure or how cold it gets or how dark it gets. You can easily explore the bottom of the ocean. And like I said, we already know one of the creatures that is at the bottom of the ocean, right? In the deepest parts of the ocean, which is Leviathan, as the scripture says. Let's get that. I want to start from here. I don't think I want to start from here. Let me start from here. Right. So this is the book of Job 41 verse 1. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put an hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn? Will he make supplication unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? And wilt thou take him for a servant forever? And so this is speaking of course, Leviathan, which is basically the Faris, which is basically the ocean creature, right? The great fish, the great I don't really know what term to use, right? But the great serpent that is in the ocean. Let me say it like that, right? But let me find another precept. I'm trying to figure out the other precept I want to bring out. Oh, I think that should be in the Apocrypha, where it talks about how The Most High created man to rule over the um, earth and Leviathan to rule in the sea. Let me see if we can find that. Let's see if we can find that as well. Leviathan, right? Now also get that next precept in the book of Amos, the 9th chapter, right? So let me get this one first. Right, so this is the book of 2nd Esdras 6, verse 49, and it reads, Then didst thou ordain 2 living creatures, the one thou callest Enoch, and another Leviathan, and didst separate them one from another for the 7th part, namely, where the water was gathered together might not hold them both. Can. And this is even going into the 7th part, which is basically, speaking about, hey, even back then in the ancient world, right, the men of the Lord knew that the world was basically 70% of the earth was water, right? That majority of the earth was already engulfed, was basically water, because they had that wisdom from the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. But when I come out and say the scriptures is a book of science, right, because it has the basic facts in it, right? These unbelievers, because the spirit is not dealing with them, right? They don't have any belief, so they don't understand that. When you are dealing with the scriptures, they're dealing with a book of science, right? They're dealing with a book of science because the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the God of knowledge, the creator of knowledge, is the one that has written these books, and this book contains his words. And you already know that the word science goes back to the Latin word scientia, which means knowledge, to know, right? So obviously the God of knowledge is the God of science. The Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is the God of science, the Most High power. That's why we call the Most High, right? But let's keep going. Let's keep going. 2nd Esdras 6, verse 51. Unto Enoch thou gavest 1 part, which was dried up the 3rd day, that he should dwell in the same part, wherein are 1,000 hills. But unto Leviathan thou gavest the 7th part, namely the moist, and hast kept him to be devoured, of whom thou wilt, and when. Can. Yeah, I can, and this is kind of like I said, right, in the bottom of the ocean, right, deeper than how far Esau can explore, right? You have Leviathan dwelling there, right? That serpent that is, and that serpent, man. And basically, the reason why we're going into this is because, let me go to that in the book of Amos, right? Let me go to that in the book of Amos. Okay, that should be the book of Amos, the 9th chapter. Here it is. Now Amos 9 verse 1. Okay, so I got Amos 9 verse 2. You know what? No. Amos 9 verse 1. I saw Yahweh standing upon the altar, and he said, Smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. Though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, then will I bring them down, right? Because there is no escape for you devils, man. No matter where you run to. And that's another reason why you see Esau Edom so obsessed with space exploration, because basically they are trying to run away from the judgment that is coming for them on the earth, right? These devils are busy destroying the earth currently, and that's why you see that they are always, Esau is always sending somebody into outer space. They always sending astronauts to this ISS, International Space Station, to see how long they can stay and live in outer space for, right? Because he is trying to escape his judgments, and that's why you see that Esau also has these that's why all your elites are building these domes, man, deep underground military bases. Of course, it's a conspiracy theory, right? When you talk about how all the elites are coincidentally building military bases, building them bunkers underground, right? Though you dig into hell, which is basically going into the underground, right? And these bunkers that are underground, you will not be able to escape the judgment and the wrath of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? So now this is the book of Amos 9 verse 3. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, right, because they also have bunkers in the mountains and in the different mountains, right, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea. If you remember, I believe it was 2 or 3 years ago, we had that submarine implosion, right? Because basically these billionaires went into the deeper parts of the sea, and the submarine that they used basically imploded, right? Because Esau is looking for any and all avenue that he can use to basically create a bunker for himself, because the elite understand that, a major judgment is coming, right? Major crisis is coming, conflict, battle, or whatever, and they are preparing, these bunkers, how to hide themselves from that coming day, man, right? But of course, as you are reading right here, this is Bible prophecy, that no matter how or where you build your bunkers or how you try to hide yourself, you will not escape the judgment of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Now, this is the book of Amos 9, verse 3 once again. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. Right? And the serpent, of course, is speaking of Leviathan, right? The Leviathan, right? The fiery serpent. I'm trying to figure out this preset I'm looking for, right? Where I can find it. I can't remember where the preset is at. Let me see if I can find this. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Now this is the book of Job, right? So like I was saying, that's of course going into Leviathan, because even the scriptures tells you, right? And let me also get that precept as well. Let's get that precept as well. Let's see. That should be Ecclesiasticus 39, right? There be spirits that are created for vengeance, right? So this is the book of Ecclesiasticus 39, verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions and serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction, right? And basically that's the reason why you watch all these movies, right? Especially your kaiju movies, you always see a giant monster basically coming out from the ocean floor, right, and destroying the city, laying waste the city, right, breathing fire, right, burst out of sparks and tempests, right? And things of that nature. And that's basically Esau, through movies, right, showing you the things that are going to happen on the earth, right? All right, so let's keep going into it. Now, this is the book of Job 41, and let's see. Okay, still going into Leviathan right here, but let me just so let's get the main point, right? So this is the book of Job 41, verse 15. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a closed seal. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. They are joined one to another, they stick together, and they cannot be sundered. By his neesings a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of a seething pot or cauldron. And this is, of course, once again, still speaking of Leviathan, right? What is at the bottom of the ocean, what is in the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean, right? In the sea. Let's keep going into it. Job 41, verse 21. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They cannot be moved. His heart is as firm as stone, yea, as hard as a piece of nether millstone. When he raiseth up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breakings, they purify themselves. Right? So yeah, man, when you see videos like this about Esau basically speaking about the woes of, or the limits of their own exploration of their own ability to basically explore the earth, or the limits of their science, right? This is Bible prophecy, things that are prophesied to happen. These devils will not be able to explore the depths of space. Neither will they be able to explore the depths of the sea, because this is a covenant, right? That the Most High, or that I should say, this is an ordinance or that I should say, this is basically a decree that the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has set up, right? That the same way that the heavens are basically unexplorable, right? And the bottom of the sea is unexplorable to Esau Edom. Is the same way that the covenant of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai with the nation of Israel will never be disannulled. Okay, it will never be changed or tampered. And let's get that in the book of Lamentations. In the book of Lamentations, Lamentations 3 verse okay, hold on. It's like Lamentations 4. Oh, no, I forgot where that preset is at. Hold on, Slakia. Hold on, Slakia. Let me try and find it. You know what? Let me just type it in. Let me just type it in. Let me just type it in. I am Yahweh, changeth not, therefore ye sons of. Okay, it's Malachi. It's Malachi 3 verse 6. I went to the wrong precept. Right. So this is the book of Malachi 3 verse 6. For I am Yahweh, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Right. So the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will not change his laws or his covenant that he has made with the nation of Israel. So with that, let me end the video right there. Once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Ba'asham Rakakwadash Wa Abad Babala, and through the Spirit. I hope you are calm and you are quite edified. Shalom.